Well, good evening, YouTube world. This is Marty Henry here again with a fisherman's grin. Hey, wanted to ask y'all, did you ever have a scary old lady that lived right next door? Well, I did, and she scared the dickens out of me, I tell you. And mind you, I was only 8 years old. But see, my imagination was that she was some kind of witchy poo, and she was gonna fly on over and grab me and put me in a big black pot. Or she had one of those voodoo dolls that, you take little needles and you poke them, because every time I'd go out, she'd be watching me, and I swear she was just sticking me up. Anyways, I was able to create a little children's book called The Little Old Lady Next Door. I was gonna call it The Scary Old Lady Next Door, but when you hear the story, you kind of get a change of heart. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a bag of Cheetos, a Pop-Tart, whatever you want. I'll be right back. It's story time with Marty Henry with The Little Old Lady Next Door. The Little Old Lady Next Door, finding faith and forgiveness through a child's eyes. There was a boy named Stevie, only 8 years old. He lived near a town called Hills Grove. His best friend was his dog Pearl. She was the greatest dog in the whole wide world. She gave him puppy kisses when he felt sad and puppy hugs if he got mad. They only had one neighbor, Miss Rose, but Stevie thought she was scary and old. She always watched him when he stepped outside. He got really scared and wanted to hide. Stevie had to do his chores every day before he and Pearl could run out to play. The next day, Pearl helped him take out the trash. Then they saw that scary lady and ran really fast. His mom and dad taught him to be kind, but Miss Rose looked scary in Stevie's mind. The next day, Stevie took Pearl for a walk. Then he noticed some real shiny rocks. He put them in his pocket on his way home, but when he walked in, he felt all alone. He got really scared, but Pearl was there. She gave him puppy kisses and big puppy hugs, showing him lots of love. His mom left a note that she went to the store, but it wasn't too long that she walked through the door. Stevie and Pearl went back out to play. He grabbed those rocks he found that day. He threw a rock at the birds in the tree, but then one fell, quiet as could be. Miss Rose started yelling as she walked outside. He grabbed little Pearl and ran to hide. He walked back home, all scared and sad. There stood Miss Rose with his mom and dad. Stevie was grounded for several days. He wished that old lady would move away. Two weeks later, while Stevie and Pearl played on the floor, the scary old lady came knocking on their door. She was holding a box in her hands. Stevie was scared. He didn't understand. Miss Rose said softly, "We must set her free. It was that bird that fell from the tree." As the bird flapped her wings up in the sky, Miss Rose hugged Stevie with tears in her eyes. Stevie wasn't scared of Miss Rose anymore. She invited him and Pearl to visit next door. Miss Rose read her Bible to Stevie and Pearl. God made the heavens and all things in the world. Miss Rose told Stevie, say your prayers every day, because God's love is never far away. It shines through the sunlight, it floats in the breeze, it whispers through the flowers as we hear the birds sing. The next day, Stevie asked Miss Rose with a curious mind, why do people pray all the time? Miss Rose smiled with a loving grin. Prayers of forgiveness is where love begins. Stevie was confused. He didn't understand. Miss Rose replied, remember the box I held in my hands? We must forgive to set things free, like that bird that fell from the tree. Later that night, all ready for bed, Stevie said his prayers as he bowed his head. I'm sorry for being mean to Miss Rose next door, and I promise not to throw rocks at the birds anymore. Stevie woke up the next morning to do his chores, but he noticed Miss Rose lying by her door. His mom called 911. Help is on the way, but Miss Rose had passed away. Stevie and his mom began to cry as they watched the ambulance pass on by. Miss Rose showed Stevie kindness and love. Now she's in heaven with angels above. He'll always remember that bird in the tree because Stevie and Miss Rose set her free. Well, good afternoon, YouTube world. This is Marty Henry, here again with a Fisherman's Grin. Everybody says, hey, Marty, you got to stop with that opening. Well, that's not going to happen. I look at it this way. I'm a fisherman, and I got a grin. Hey, I wanted to thank you all for listening to that little story that I came up with, the little old lady next door, based on some true events, me growing up, you know, and remember, I thought she was a scary old lady next door because she was always watching me. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I thought she was some kind of witchy poo going to fly on over and snag me up and throw me in a black pot. Boy, was I wrong. Like in the book, I threw that rock, I hurt that little bird. She helped that little bird. She loved on that little bird. She came on over and we set her free. Not only the bird, the big word of forgiveness. She forgave me. Taught me the true meaning of it. You know, and I want to thank you all for being on this journey with me, you know, becoming an author. And I'm going to admit to you, as you guys can tell, I don't have the sharpest knife in the drawer. I don't have a bunch of plaques on the wall saying I'm smart. But I do have a GED. Yeah, and I'm an author. So anybody can do it. I'm telling you, if I can do it, y'all can do it. Now you just got to get it promoted out there, and that's the thing. And Marty, you got to do all this stuff. I feel like one of those owls that can turn her head all the way around. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, trying to figure out the stuff. Oh, before I forget. If y'all want a copy of it, I got the Amazon link down there. It took me 52 hours to figure out. Nah, 51 and a half. No, not really. It did take me a minute though, to get on that Amazon thing and, you know, leave a review or whatever. So please be kind and rewind. Sometimes we have to rewind to be kind. And to the children, don't forget, you may have little Miss Roses that live next door. Treat them with kindness and respect. Just like if you're out there playing ball or frisbee or whatever, and that ball lands in their yard and they come out, what are you doing in my yard? And all getting all upset and all wound up. Be kind to them. Eventually, the light will come out. The beauty will come out. Get to know them. So, God bless you. Please stay safe. I'll see you again. with a fisherman's grin.